Okay, this is an example of a repeated period. Remember, this is not the double period. Still 4 phrases, but it has a different structure. And on this one, we're gonna draw a little diagram so you can see exactly how the diagram works. But it's kind of hard to see here, but if you just count off 4 bars, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna draw a little bracket there. 1, 2, 3, 4. It just lays out perfectly. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm actually just going to attach the rest of this so we can see 1, 2, 3. Oops, I'm sorry, I messed up. Yeah, there it is. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are 4 phrases. Got that? And they do have the chords marked for you right here. So I'm going to draw a little diagram so you can see. We have 4 phrases, so we're going to have 4 little brackets, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Our first one's always going to be called A. And we need to mark the cadences. So first phrase, 1, 2, 3, 4, ends on 5, and if you remember, that's a half cadence, right? Right, HC. You'll do it just like this in your homework. The second phrase, we'll mark what the letter is in just a minute, but let's get the cadence. 1, 2, 3, 4, there it is. Ends on 1. And look at that, 5, 7, 1. We know that that's probably a PAC. It's not an IAC. We're in the key of D, and it ends on a D in the soprano there. So that's definitely, remember, that's PAC. Okay? PAC. Third phrase, 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at that, ends on 5. We know that's half. And then finally, the last one, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 7, 1. You can see it now, 5, 7, 1. It's just the same as this one, ends on scale degree 1. So we have PAC. Now, like I said, notice the structure here. Half cadence PAC, half cadence PAC. The double period we looked at before was half, 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 and then PAC. But in order to decide if this is a repeated period or a double period, we look at this. If this cadence matches this one, we call that a repeated period. Okay? Now we have to decide, is it parallel or contrasting? And we have to look at the melodies for that. So let's look at our melodies, how we're going to label them. I'm not going to sing this, too hard to sing, but you've got this ascending scale, starts on an A and then it goes up, right? Look at that, the second phrase, it's the same thing. And it comes down, it's exactly the same thing. So we're going to call it A. Now, you notice that it's half cadence PAC. When the cadence is different, you call it prime, A and A prime. They sound the same, but they end differently, so we call that A prime. So the third phrase, look at that, ascending, just the same as the others. So it's A again, and notice the cadence, see how these cadences match? So we're going to call that A again. We're not going to put a prime by it. We're going to call it A again because it's the same cadence. And finally, this last one, look at that. Ascending scale from A, it's exactly the same as this one. So we're going to call it A prime. Notice how those two line up. So now, we know this is a repeated period, and you could just look, really, see how that is a period, right? Half cadence PAC. And then here's another period, half cadence PAC. So it's period, period, definitely repeated period. And since we're going to compare to decide parallel or contrasting, we look at those two phrases, A prime, they sound the same. The prime doesn't matter there. So we call that a parallel repeated period. If this had been A and B, we would call it a contrasting repeated period. So this is parallel repeated period. So you can watch these videos as many times as you want, and then you'll see how the homework works and what you have to do. Always draw a diagram like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, with the letters and the cadences and then the name.